What is up, YouTube? So I wanted to make a quick Phantom Knights kind of brand newish build because of the recent ban list that came out, and this is the first deck of many to come. Also, I was thinking of doing some kind of retro decks. I have like Dark World and I have Fire Fist, and I was thinking of like adding some new cards to that, or Psyframes even, and just adding a few different cards to make new deck profiles. But let me know what you think. But right now, let's focus on Phantom Knights. Yeah, so this is the deck, and let me know if you like the setup. So, a little bit different build, 40 card deck. So we're running 3 of the Ancient Cloak. Ancient Cloak is a great card. I'm not going to run over all its effects, but basically what it does is you banish this and you can search a spell or trap card of Phantom Knights or a monster. So you use that mostly for searching. You banish from the graveyard, pretty easy, level 3. Next, Silent Boots. Silent Boots can special summon itself if there's a Phantom Knight on the field, and then you banish that from the graveyard to add a spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. And then Ragged Gloves is if it's used in Xyz, you can the Dark Xyz monster gains 1000 attack, and also you can pretty much Foolish Burial any Phantom Knight card in your deck by banishing this from the graveyard. They all have that banish effect. Next, we run 2 Winter Cherries, and Winter Cherries basically, if you're running a mirror match, it's amazing. But if you're running up against something like Blue Eyes or something, you just like put in Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon and use this. You obviously side deck a lot of extra deck monsters, meta extra deck monsters, and I think they just look beautiful. And what this does is it banishes all copies from your extra deck and copies from their extra deck, so it pretty much locks down all their extra deck cards. Next, the one Curry Bandit. So what Curry Bandit does is Curry Bandit contribute itself, and then look at the top 5 cards of your deck. You pick a spell or trap card out of those 5 cards, and if there's no spell or trap cards, you send them all to the graveyard. Other than that, you send them all to the graveyard anyway, which is fine because that's basically what you want to do in this deck, is mill your cards. Next, my Phantom of Darkness Dark Arm Dragon. Because you can control the dark monsters in the graveyard, it's very easy to summon this card. Next, 2 Raiden. I was trying this card out and it's worked really well. You can send the top 2 cards of the deck to the graveyard, and if it's a light one, it gains attack. That really doesn't matter, but you can just use its effect to like get rid of 2 cards. And then the other effect is at the end of the turn you ditch 2 cards, but it's a tuner, so it means you can very easily go into level 7 synchros. Yes. Next, we are running the Speed Ride engine. It's 3 Speed Ride Terratops. So what you do is you can normal or special summon this card. You can special summon this card if there's no monster in the field, and if it's normal or special summoned, you can add a Speed Ride monster from your deck to your hand. Next, Speed Ride Take Tomborg. If there's a wind monster on the field, you special summon it. Pretty easy, and you can just grab a free rank 3. Next, for the recently unbanned card, the recently unlimited card is 3 Allure of Darkness. Works really well with this deck and gives a kind of a bit of consistency, which I think it needed. Like, if you think about it nowadays, Blue Eyes has their Melody of Awakening Dragon and other stuff like trading and stuff, and the Dark monster just had nothing, so this really works well. Next, 2 Dark Hole, because we really don't mind sending cards from our field to the graveyard, because we end up like bonusing on things in the graveyard. 2 MST. I would run 2 Twin Twister if I had this, or 2 Gallic Cyclone, but I don't have MST. For the 1-ofs, 1 Foolish Burial, 1 Reinforcement of the Army, 1 Soul Charge. Soul Charge is a great card. You pretty much win if you get this off. The 1 Upstart Goblin. And then lastly, my own tech is Buried from a Different Dimension. Just because you're going to be banishing a lot of dark monsters, send them back to the graveyard and plus off that. So I think it's a really good card. Sorry for that. Next, you run the 3 Fogblade. Fogblade is Fiendish Chain, and you can banish all the trap cards from the graveyard, special summon a Phantom Knight, so you go up again. Next, you run the 2 Sword. Sword gains 800 attack and defense, and then you can banish from the graveyard, special summon the Phantom Knight monster. Wing is the same, except for it's 500 and sends straight to the graveyard, whereas this one is a continuous trap. This one is not. It just sends itself straight to the graveyard. Next, Solemn Warning, because it is one of the best cards in the game. And lastly, Vanity's Emptiness, because when you get your big board up, you don't want your opponent doing anything, and that's why you run this. So, next for the extra deck. Extra deck is pretty simple one, but I like it. So, 2 Breaksword. Breaksword is an amazing card. I don't feel like you need to run 3. When the new cards come out of the rank up and stuff, this card's going to be amazing. Just because you can special summon this with a trap card and then rank it up. But until then, this thing is basically it's a scrap dragon. You can destroy 1 card on your side of the field and 1 card your opponent controls, and then that's what you do. But if this card, you can also use it on itself, destroy itself, and then special summon 2 Phantom Knights from the graveyard and make them level 4. So for those 2 cards, we run the 1 Dark Rebellion Exceed Dragon. You have to run this. It's just in a crazy beater. And with Ragged Gloves, could get up to 3500 if you play it right. Pretty easy. Next, Evil Swarm Nightmare is just a great card. Basically, when your opponent summons a monster, you can flip it into face down defense. And yet again, with Ragged Gloves, this one comes 1950, which is pretty amazing. But yeah, I like it a lot. It's been running really well. Next, thank God this card hasn't been hit in the ban list. But this is Dante. I only run 2. Basically, what it does is it mills the top 3 cards of your deck. You gain 1500 attack points, and then if it attacks, it changes itself to defense position. So just an extra mill card. Next, the 1 Lavier because of all the banishing. The 1 Nightmare Shark just because you can attack directly. If your opponent has this crazy board and you only have little life points left, you can just special them that and then attack directly. Alucard because you're sending a lot of things face down. Alucard can just send it back to the deck or pop it. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Next, number 30, Acid of Golem Destruction. So a lot of people lately have been negating effects. So if they negate this effect, you end up bonusing off it because it just becomes a 3000 beater. Next, because of all the 7s, Black Rose Moonlight Dragon. You can just as soon as you summon this off the other guy, you can just go straight and bounce a card. Next, the 1 Meteor Burst Dragon because it negate monsters' effects during the battle phase. Black Rose Dragon in case you want to blow up the field or board or whatever. The 1 Trishula just because you can use this with Winter Cherries. So you do 3. If you get 3, so you get Winter Cherries, 2 Phantom Knights, or take Tom Borg and the speed rides and stuff. And then I do side deck level 1 tuner just for this guy. This guy is Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, great card. So you just go with one of the 7s and then a level 1. Yeah, so that is it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you think. I know it's been a very quick video, but I just wanted to do a post ban list. And stay tuned for Red Dragon Archfiend. I'm still playtesting and see if it works. And the Blue Eyes deck hasn't changed at all. Still perfect. I don't need to change it because it didn't get hit on the ban list. And also an Odd Eyes deck, pure Odd Eyes deck profile I've been making. But let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for watching, guys.